Hello, this is Hooked by Happenstance. I'm Kendra, and despite the fact that it is late Thursday night, early Friday morning, it's time for my Sunday sunrise. For those of you that are new around here, my Sunday sunrise is my solution to New Year's resolutions. Rather than make a bunch of goals at the beginning of January that I was unlikely to follow through on, I make weekly goals. And then I come back approximately a week later, and we discuss my progress on those goals, and I make some goals for the week that's coming up. So, last week, I tried something new. I felt that my tiny list and big marker concept was still causing me to overcommit. Like, the lists were just too big, even though I was trying to make them small. So I made the paper smaller, and I used a teeny tiny Post-it, and it had 4 words on it. Did I complete my 4 words? Yes, I did. The first word on the list was bucket. I had a plastic bucket that I showed you last week that had a number of projects that had been kind of shuffled around. Most of them were toys that needed to have like faces put on or be stuffed or whatever. And then there was also a shawl that I needed to make some changes to so my daughter could wear it. So I did finish the shawl. It was made out of Lion Brand homespun. I actually frogged a scarf that I had out of the identical yarn so that way I could sew. It had been it's up in her room and she's sleeping, or I would show it to you. It was an open like half circle shawl. So I sewed the front together and then I put a ribbed neck into it so it would close up around her shoulders a little bit more, making it far more useful for a 9-year-old to wear. And she really likes it, hence the reason it's hiding in her room. So I finished that out of the bucket, and then I was like, all gung-ho, I was gonna work on the things in the bucket, and as I started looking at them, there were a couple of birds, there were a couple of, like, snow people, and an octopus, I think. I think that was it. Oh, and there was a head for a doll. And I realized that none of those were things that I really wanted the finished product on. And I was just going to be finishing them to be finishing things. And I'm trying to not do that. So instead I frogged them. Made balls of the yarn, put them into the stash with all the other acrylic yarn scraps. They'll become something at some point, but it will be more useful to me to have those finished products. I have an empty bucket. I have no guilt about the projects. I don't have toys sitting around that are staring at me, making me feel guilty that they exist when I don't want them or need them. Instead, I have balls of yarn. So I feel good about that choice. The next thing on my list was bingo. It, I guess, is technically at this very moment the beginning of February. So I'm onto, I guess, another bingo board as far as the Let Peach Play Bingo. If you're interested in what I'm talking about, every month I'm putting up a bingo board for free on my Patreon page where you can attempt to win some prizes if you're interested, or just play for fun. And they have interesting challenges that are kind of plays on words that have to do with the month at hand. So this last month, I was very delayed in posting because I was finishing lots of things. It actually took me a while to fill in those strategic places that actually made all the bingos happen, but I completed 7 out of a possible 12 bingos, I think. I'm missing 2 squares, if I remember correctly, out of the whole board to get a blackout. But those 2 squares affect lots of things. And if I move my hands like this a lot, it apparently makes bingo make sense. I don't know. But I posted the 7. If you're interested, check out at Hooked by Happenstance on Instagram. I did layouts of each of them, so it shows the board with like the challenges all lined up. There's usually a picture of my finger pointing like this somewhere of which one I completed. And then it has pictures of the individual items. And then underneath in the descriptions on Instagram, it enumerates what project I did and then what challenges they checked off. So that is done and I feel good about it. Well, sad I didn't get a blackout. This is the, 3rd bingo board I've done. I started them last November. No, October. I did October, November, and then I just did January's. And the first 2 months I did this, I got bingos. Or not bingos, I got blackouts. And this time I didn't. But I decided, again, with that idea of trying to make something you don't really want or need, or putting your time towards something that you don't really want to be focusing on just to meet some arbitrary challenge that I made up for myself, I'm not doing that. So I let it roll, and it's fine. And next month, we'll try again. 7 bingos is perfectly fine. And really, all you're looking to get is one. I'm just weirdly overachieving, and especially since I'm the one making the game, I feel like I should, like, you know, do super exceptionally at it, which is ridiculous, but it's where I'm at. Next thing on my tiny list was to finish things, and I did. I continued to finish things. The project bags, I'm looking at them over there that are hanging up with things in progress, and my list of on the hook stuff is rapidly dwindling. Like, I was telling Steve, my HookedByHappenstance, the other day that I am at a point where I could realistically finish everything that is on my hook. Which I just came up on 5 years of having been crocheting. I've never been at that point before in 5 years, which it's weird. Don't know that I like it. And I keep adding new things too, but I'm actually like finishing things and I'm enjoying the things I'm doing, and it's all good stuff. So it's good things. And then also I wanted to keep making things. I did. I kept my crojo going this week. I was crocheting. There were not a huge number of videos, but there were some. I've been sewing a bunch too, so that's good. Making is happening, and it's happening at a rate that is not causing me stress and is not interfering with, I don't know, other life goals and things. Like, I'm trying to get this video out because tomorrow we are having a familial day of rest where we basically hang out and do some fun stuff, but we don't interact on social media, and I'm not allowed to work. So I'm not allowed to do any crocheting or sewing that is work related. I can do like personal projects, so things that are for like me, because I do find these activities fun. So if it is something that is purely a hobby item, that's cool, but I can't do anything that is work related. That was my children's rule they came up with, and I think it was a smart one. So that's why I'm trying to get this done right now so that I can do fun non-work things tomorrow. Okay, so on to this week's list. I liked my tiny post-it so much that I have another one. And I can only fit like 4 words on a post-it. It is also nice when I can whittle down the goals to a singular word for each one, because they can become like a little mantra that I can repeat in my head, or I can try and apply the 4 words to whatever it is I'm working on and decide whether I'm actually following through with the goals that I set out for myself. So, this 4 words is, first thing is socks. I started making a pair of socks for said HookedByHappenstance Steve. I asked him the other night, I'd finished a pair of socks for myself, so I didn't have any socks going. And I was like, hey, if I made you a pair, would you wear them? And I figured he was gonna say no, like realistically, based on his preferences and taste. But he was super excited by the idea. And so, since he has had days off, he's been sitting on the couch next to me, and I am custom sizing a pair of socks to him, and he is very excited. So, I'm going to continue. I'm through the heel and working on the cuff of the first one, and then obviously just lather, rinse, and repeat and make him a second one. So, I want to finish those because I'd like him to be able to wear them and hopefully enjoy them, and then I will make him more if he likes them. You just never know. So, I'm trying to stay on that while he's enjoying the idea of it. The next thing on my list is board, which is that I need to put up a February bingo board because I can't get bingos if there's no board, and February starts right now. So, it should be up by the end of the weekend is my hope. Next thing is the word start. I want to start something new. I have finished so many things. So many big projects too that I want to start something new, and I haven't determined exactly what it is, but it's probably going to be something large. And I'm just giving myself permission to start something large, even if it's just for me. In fact, it might just be for me, and I might start it tomorrow. You know, with that whole doing non-worky things on our familial day of rest. Okay, the last thing on the list is to finish things. I'm going to continue my efforts to whittle down this very small on the hook list and go through the project bags again. Keep trying to finish things. And also, as I am finishing items, try to actually like finish them. Today I bought a zipper to fully finish a cardigan I made for my son that he decided he wanted a zipper in instead of buttons. So I need to do that. And whenever we go to a store that has buttons that he likes, I can put buttons on Steve's cardigan. But until then, that's not quite finished. But I have been doing better about weaving in ends as I go, because that makes things less overwhelming, you know, overall. So, perhaps these things will be useful for you to try tinier paper. leads to less chances of overcommitting. And I also am really enjoying this like singular word thing. So maybe try that this week. Using singular words to define your goals. Because again, the whole mantra thing, if you can just think about them. All week I had thinking bucket, bingo, finish, make. Bucket, bingo, finish, make. And so this week I'm going to think socks, board, start, finish. Socks, board, start, finish. And that gives me like a focus point and a thing to just keep checking them off the mental to-do list. Alrighty, everybody. Hope you are having a nice one ever as you see this. And I will see you at some point in the future. Perhaps it'll be on Sunday next time. You just never know. Talk to you later. Bye!